Okay, let's start. We left out Tzadi Hey. We start the 2 dots. 3 lines into the white lines. The 4th line. Cal. How old was he? 80. Gabriel, he's 80?
Gabriel.
Terrorists yesterday killed somebody who's Jewish. That France. Okay. Maya Sakal, the Gemara originally quoted a pasuk. The Gemara had said, if a person goes and has relations with the sister of his wife, his own wife is permitted to him. Samar says, why? Because it's a shachavoso. It says regarding a woman who commits adultery, it's only the adulteress is forbidden to the adulterer, but not the man who has relations with his sister-in-law is not forbidden to his wife. Okay? Samar says, why would have I thought she should be, right? Because you have a kal v'chomer. You see by Yisakal that what it's forbidden to the one who caused the problem. So over here, where it's a chomor, definitely. So what is Yisakal? By something which is less severe. Samar says, Ma Yisakal, Omer Avchis the Maus Gurushoso, Mishin Isas, Bo Leo, Hai Osrale. The Hai Bo Leo, Idach Osrale. The Hai, meaning a woman is married, a woman marries Ruvain. Ruvain divorces his wife, Shimon marries her. Fully married. Ruvain's fully married to her, divorces her, she marries Shimon. Shimon fully marries her, divorces her. And now Ruvain remarries her, which he's not permitted to, but he does it. Fully marries her. So now this woman's not permitted to either of them, right, to take back. Because the first one, he took her back after she was married to Shimon. And now B can't take her back because A remarried her. Okay? So each one prohibited to the other. Okay? So therefore that's the case. That's Issachal because it's only a lav. We see by Issachal, the one who actually had relations is the one who caused the Isser, right? Because Shimon originally, when he married her, he caused that she shouldn't be able to go back to Ruvain. And Ruvain originally caused that they shouldn't be able to go back to Shimon. Okay? It's not comparable. You say the woman who he had relations with, you know why she's not permitted? Because she personally was married to someone else. Over here, he had relations with his sister-in-law, but why should that impact on his wife? His wife's still pure. Even though he did an Isser inadvertently with his sister-in-law, why should his wife be affected negatively? In our case, the woman who he's living with is the woman who did the wrong thing. Deliberate invert's irrelevant. Elom Rish Lokish, you know what the case is? It calls us Yevama. Yevama. Because Yevama, let's say a woman's Yevama, she marries a third party. Without Yibum, without Chalitza. What did she violate? A lav. It's only a lav. Right? So that's the Kal V'chomer. What's the case? Laman. Ilaim Lach, who did she have relations? If she had relations with a third party, Kid Rafam Nuna, and like Rafam Nuna. That Rafumina holds that if a Yevama has a relation with a third party, she's not permitted to the Yavam because it's equivalent of adultery, even though it's not adultery, but it's equivalent of that. The Omer Ravam Nuna Shemeres Yavam, she's in Asurali Yevama. A Shemeres Yavam who has a illicit relation with a third party, she's not permitted to the Yavam. So Malik says again, what kind of Kal V'chomer? Mali Yevama, she gained Nitba Haguf, she's like an adulteress, the Sur Barov, and she's not permitted to anybody, right? Because the love of she's not permitted to marry someone that applies to every Jew. Elo Yevama La'achin. We're not talking about to the one who actually had relations with her, but rather to the brothers. What's the case? La'achin Ovid B'Maimer. I also, let's say Ruvain did Maimer with the Yevama. No, not married. Kedushin, okay? Right? The Osra Alei, Double B'Maimer, Hi Osra Alei, Dai Bo'aleo Idoch, Osra Alei. The high. And now what happens? The one marries, and let's say another brother now has relations with her. She's not permitted to either. Right? Because he had a relation. Not permitted to the one who did Kedushin. Is not permitted to him. Okay? What do you say? Because he had relations with her, the other brother. Let's say Ruvain was Makadesh the Yevama, the surviving brother. And then Shimon, the other brother, had relations with her, the Jibum. She's not permitted to either, right? Because she was married to Ruvain. And now because Shimon, the other brother, had relations, she can't go back to Ruvain. Well, right? So Mara says, oh, look, so he says, so what do you have to say? He had relations. Let's say Shimon was Makadisher. Reuven was Makadisher and Shimon was Makadisher. So if that's the case, Halo Kasha, Karam Galil, they Maimer Achamaimer. The reason why he said the case which he had relations, because if Reuven was Makadisher, Shimon's Kiddusha means nothing. Could two people be Makadisher, same woman? That's a Maimer Achamaimer. If we said he had relations with her, Ella Afilu Noslo Get, Afilu Choletzlo, what do we have to say? He had relations. Say he gave her a get or he gave Chalitza to her. So therefore, again, that's not the case. Elo Amar Rabbi Yochanan Sota. We're talking about a Sota. What's a Sota? A woman's a married woman, and she committed adultery. So she's not permitted to the adulteress and the husband. Okay, so listen. Leman, when we say a Sota, she's forbidden to the one. Ilem Labal, we say when she committed adultery, she's not permitted to the husband. What did the husband do? The husband did nothing wrong, right? But yet his wife who committed adultery is not permitted. Bo'alei Abal. What about if the husband had relations with her? Let's say he forewarned her not to sequester herself with someone else, and she did. After that, the husband's not allowed to have relations with his wife, right? And he has relations with his wife. What's the halacha? She's not permitted on any. He can't even give her the water to drink. First, he did in Isser. He's not permitted. Osra oleo the boil, right? Bo'alei Abal osra olei the boil. Now, having relations with her, she can't be verified whether she committed adultery. She's not permitted to the boel. My boel I feel noslo get. What do we have to say? The reason why she's not permitted to the boel, to the one who sequestered himself with her, is because the husband had relations with her. Let's say he would divorce her, and it was never verified. He's still not permitted to the boel. Va'afilo amar ein ani mashke. He says, I'm not going to verify it. I don't want my wife should drink the water to verify that she can commit. Right? Ella sota lebo. We're talking about the sota to the boel. Right? I mean, the boel, why is he not permitted to her? Because he prohibited the woman to her husband. Hayisakalu? Is that Isakal? Isachamaru. She committed adultery. We want to bring a couple. Here, this man had relations with her. And because he had relations with her, and although it's an Isakal, she's not permitted to the husband. So here also, when he had relations with the sister, his wife's not permitted to him. That's an Isakal. The man committed adultery. Hello. It's coming a less severe provision. Adultery is the most severe provision, right? Hello, marova eshes ish. Eshes ish is Isakal. What is eshes ish Isakal? V'chein also Rovin Omer Rabbi Yochanan eshes ish. Rabbi Yochanan said, "What eshes ish? If a man marries a woman, you understand? But the status is changeable. If he divorces her, right? So in his lifetime, if he's married to a woman that's off limits to the whole world, so we're not talking about the liability, but factually, in terms of it's not permanent. The husband could terminate it. But if a woman's achos isha, his man's married to a woman, as long as his wife's alive, there's no way he can marry the sister. So regarding that, it's more permanent. It's fixed. Ashes ish is what could be terminated. Achos ish can be terminated. If she's achos isha, she can be terminated. That's what he says. Umay kor elisa kal. Why do we refer to ashes ish as less severe? It doesn't mean less severe. It means it's less than the achos isha because it's not permanent. She'ein ha'oser oser kol yameo. Because the one who prohibits her doesn't necessarily prohibit for her whole life. Because the one who prohibited her, what could he do? He gives her a get. He terminates the marriage. But a man who marries a woman and her sister is what? Is forever forbidden. As long as his wife is alive, he cannot marry that woman. Ashes ish. Even though she's an ashes tomorrow, she does not be an ashes tomorrow, a married woman tomorrow. If he gives her a get. Tanya nami hochi, abachonan omi b'shum Reb Lozer, ashes ish. That is a kal for ashes ish. And what's the kal v'chomer? Uma b'mokum aboral isakal. A case where a person commits adultery, and although the relationship is something which could have been changed with a get. Shein ha'osra osra kol yomov, because the husband, when he married her, he didn't prohibit her forever, meaning it's not a permanent state. Because he could terminate that relationship. Nesara Oser. Right? And yet the one who had relations with her. Although it's Nisakal, the adulterer, she's off limits to him. Right? The adulterer committed adultery. What did he violate? An issue which is Nisakal, it's not a permanent. Of course, it could be terminated. And nevertheless, it's not permitted to him. Right? Because he... No, the husband divorces her. No, but originally, what did he violate? He violated a relationship which could have been terminated prior with a get. If the husband would have given it, she would have been a single woman and would have been permitted. So even though the nature was something that could have been revoked or terminated, nevertheless, we say that she's forbidden to him because he did the act, right? Habal isachomer, so a person who does isachomer, what's isachomer? That he has relations with his sister-in-law, the sister of his wife. She'osra osra kol yomov. The moment he marries his wife, the sister-in-law is off limits for the rest of his life, as long as his wife's alive. And osra. So his wife should be forbidden, or his sister-in-law should be forbidden to him. Right? What's that? What's the halacha now if his wife should die? He's permitted to the sister-in-law. Right? By the boel, the adulterer, never will he be permitted to that, the woman he committed adultery. Although the nature of that status could have been changed. But so over here, when he has relations with a sister-in-law, which that status cannot be changed, that yet if his wife dies, he can marry her. But the Kal V'chomer says you should not be able to marry her. It's only the woman who commits the pasuk says only the adulteress. But anybody outside the adulteress, although he did something much more severe in terms of its nature, lying with the sister doesn't, cohabiting. Rabbi Yosef Makosha Posel. This Gemara over here is a little complicated. We'll see. Rabbi Yossi says in the Mishnah something. He says, Tanakama says, yeah. Tanakama says, we don't know what the Gemara will explain what this means. Somebody who invalidates or disqualifies through others, he's posel atzmo. If he doesn't, if it's not posel atzmo, let's see what this means. The Gemara wants to know what it means. Rabbi Yossi called posel. My come Rabbi Yossi. What is Rabbi Yossi saying? We're speaking like this. A man, his own wife, you're listening, and his brother goes overseas. Then word comes back that his brother-in-law died and his wife died. And meantime, his brother-in-law's wife stayed behind, and his brother-in-law's wife is the sister of his wife. So, he should be permitted. She's a widow, and his wife is no longer alive. He should be permitted to marry her. Correct? So the Tanakama says that what's the halacha? That the wife of the brother-in-law is not permitted to her husband because of adultery. But his own wife, he's permitted to take his own wife back. Right? When they returned. It turns out they were both alive. The brother-in-law was alive and his wife was alive. His own wife he could take back, but the wife of the brother-in-law, she's forbidden to the brother-in-law. Right? That's what we had before, because you should have checked it out. She was married based testimony of a single witness, not two witnesses. Okay? His wife and his brother-in-law went overseas. Okay? So, Eishes Giso Asiro. The wife of his brother-in-law is forbidden to him, as it's forbidden to the brother-in-law. Ishto, his own wife, Shari, is permitted to him. Right? He could continue with his wife. So what does Rabbi Yossi say? Komale Rabbi Yossi, Kihecha di Ishto Shario. Just as his own wife is permitted to him. Eishes Giso Nami Shario. The wife of his brother-in-law should also be permitted. Like, you have one rule. As you're not faulting him for doing anything, and therefore you allow his wife to come back, so why do you allow... So the woman should be permitted to her husband. He says, if that's the case, if that's what Rabbi Yossi is saying to the Tanakama, that just as his wife is permitted, the wife of the brother-in-law should be permitted. Ihochi, kol she'ein posel alidei acherim, ein posel alidei atzmo. What does he say? If you're not posel alidei acherim, you're not posel alidei atzmo. Kol she'ein posel alidei atzmo. It should say the other way. If you're not affected, it should say eino posel alidei acherim. If you're permitted to take your wife, yeah, but it doesn't say it in the Mishnah. It says the other way. Kol she'ein posel alidei acherim, eino posel alidei atzmo. Mi boy elo kihechi. So what is it saying? What's Rabbi Yosef say? Kihechi deishes gisu asiro ishno nami asiri. What he's saying is, just as the wife, the Tanna Kama says he could take his wife back, but the wife of the brother-in-law is off limits to his brother-in-law. So he said, Rabbi Yosef says, I disagree. If his wife is not permitted to him, your wife should not be permitted to you. That's what Rabbi Yosef is saying. Right? That's what he's saying. Kihechi deishes gisu asiro ishno nami asira. Okay? So Mara says, "Hatenech kosher posel." Kosher. So that's good. Since you posel like the acherim, since he affected the other man's wife, that his wife is not permitted to him, therefore he's saying your wife shouldn't be permitted to you. But what's the second side? It says kol she'enu posel the acherim. He says two things. If it's posel the acherim, it's posel the atzmo. If the brother-in-law can't take his wife back, you shouldn't be able to go bak to your wife. But and where you don't affect the other person's wife, you could. So what is that case speaking about? So the Gemara says, what exactly is that? That's going back on the first case. It's not going on this case here. The first mission in the Perek. The case that Rabbi Yossi is speaking about now, that he says that since you affected the other person negatively, you're affected negatively, just as your brother-in-law cannot take back his wife, you cannot go back with your wife. Although your wife wasn't defiled, but it doesn't make a difference. And what is the case of where he's not posel el acherim? We allow him. We allow. Nisus al pi bezdin. It says in the Mishnah, if you have an eid echod and the woman got married, al pi bezdin. It says in the Mishnah, teitzei, the husband who married her, the man who married her has to. She leaves. Uptur min akorban. She doesn't bring a korban. Why? Because since she was married based on psak bezdin, because bezdin ruled she can't marry. Al pi edim. What happens if she got married through witnesses? Teitzev chayevis b'korban. She goes out, and she's chayevis korban because it wasn't psak bezdin. So from there we see kochush shel bezdin shepotra min hakorban. Yofa kos, right? Ukama Tanna Kama. Tanna Kama says no. Lo shno al yedei. Lo shno al pi edim. Deishis gisu shario. Lo shno al pi bezdin. Deishis gisu asiro. Right? And Tanna Kama says it does make a difference whether she gets married with witnesses. Lo shno al pi edim deishis gisu shario. We said a woman, if she gets married through witnesses, we say he's permitted. The Tanna Kama says she's permitted to go back to her husband. Right? But if it's al pi bezdin, it's a single witness, then she's not. So we're differentiating between two witnesses and one witness. No, two witnesses. What's the name? Rabbi Yossi says in the first Mishnah that if you have, whether it's one witness or two witnesses, to say a woman's permitted to get married, and it turns later the husband shows up. Rabbi Yossi says either way, she's not permitted to go back to her husband. But the difference is whether she has to bring a korban. Since in one case she was only married because the Bezdin ruled she should get married, therefore that's called haro Bezdin. When Bezdin permits you, you don't bring a korban. In the other case, although you had two witnesses, but factually it's inadvertent, therefore you have to bring a korban. The Tanna Kama says no. If you get married with two witnesses where there's no obligation on the woman to check, right? She doesn't have to check anything. There's no reason to penalize her. There, because she had two witnesses. Therefore, she's permitted to go back to the husband. A single witness, that's what we don't allow her to go back to the husband. Right? Because we penalize. She didn't check it out well enough that he wasn't alive. Okay? It says, Commentator, lo shnal pi bezdin, deishis giso shario, lo shnal pi bezdin, deishis giso asiro. Ukamale Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi says, no, al pi bezdin, the posel. Al pi bezdin, that if you get married al pi bezdin, Rabbi Yossi says, no. The man cannot take his wife back. That's Rabbi Yossi. He's arguing with the Tanna Kama. Rabbi Yossi says, even if she's married with testimony to witness, she cannot go back to her husband. Al yidei acherim, right? Al pi bezdin posel, that's al yidei acherim posel. Al yidei atzmo, al yidei acherim posel, al yidei atzmo. Al pi edim, the edo posel, al yidei acherim. Al pi edim, the edo posel, al yidei acherim, edo posel, al yidei atzmo. 1 second. Come Rabbi Yossi. 1 second. Just let me guess. Come Rabbi Ki. Al pi Boal al pi bezdin kalgin laloch. The whole posel al yidei acherim, posel yidei atzmo. Right. Al pi bezdin paligna aloch. The whole posel al yidei acherim, posel yidei atzmo. That's where he's arguing. No, since we say Bayeda Chod, you cannot go back. She cannot go back to her husband. Therefore, your wife, to his own wife, right? Just as she can't go to her husband, you can't go back to your own wife. But what about if it's al pi bezdin? Let's say there were 2 edim, where she could go back to her husband. You could go back to your wife. That's what Rabbi Yossi is saying. Where you mess him up, you're messed up. When you don't mess him up because it was al pi edim, you could retain your wife. Right? He's saying the negative side and the positive side. But that's Rabbi Yossi. Everybody agrees that if it's al pi eid echad, for sure the brother-in-law cannot take his wife back because she wasn't daika mitzvah. But the question is, to what degree do we penalize? The question purely penalizing. That's the Tanakama. Rabbi Yossi, I say, I disagree. As he can't go take his wife back, we don't let you go back to your wife. We're penalizing him. You shouldn't have gotten involved with a woman unless you knew factually that her husband was dead. You shouldn't have married her. Rabbinically, he doesn't have to have an obligation to check. Because he can't. If actually we're seeing her as an adulteress, you understand? I'll give you an example. I'm not sure. If a woman knows she's married, and somehow she convinces somebody else she's a single woman, and he commits adultery with her, okay, right? So she's for sure, she's an adultery, she's not permitted to go back to her husband, right? Because she knew. She duped him, right? He had relations intentionally, right? She convinced him, she believed him. I don't know, maybe he is an adulterer. He is an adulterer, even though it's shogeg. Maybe that's not sufficient. How do you rely on her word that she's not? You know, it's something similar to that. If she were classifying her as an adulteress, so even though he believed that she checked it out, it's irrelevant what you believed. Unless you know factually, so if we penalize him, we penalize her, we penalize you. Chacham say no. What does one thing have to do with another? She did the wrong thing. The penalty doesn't go that far. His wife is permitted. She's not an adulteress. She's not an adulteress. He could be with his wife. Let's say a man intentionally committed adultery. Intentionally. Do we say his wife's off limits to him? He's permitted. Everybody agrees he's permitted to go back to his wife. Right? So over here, because we're dealing within the context of penalty, to what degree do we penalize? That's why this case is different. You hear this? A bona fide adulterer, he's permitted to be with his wife. He doesn't have to divorce his wife. A man has an illicit affair with another married woman. Does he have to divorce his wife? But this case, according to Rabbi Yossi, he has to divorce it. Because he was dealing with a penalty. If we penalize him, her for him, and you were involved, you get the penalty too. Okay, further. Rav Yitzchak Nafka Omar L'Olam HaSeifa. No, it's going on the closing case. See here what we're talking about? Rabbi Yossi says no. Rabbi Yossi says no. Rabbi Yossi says no. If she's married, she gets married based on the testimony of 2 witnesses, which she's permitted to go back to her husband, then we allow you to go to your wife. Right? Because she's permitted. But if she was married based on the testimony of a single witness, which we don't allow her to go back to her husband, we don't allow you to go back to your wife. That's Rabbi Yossi. The Chum disagree. The Chum say no. There's no reason to prohibit his wife on himself. Her, she's an adulteress. He can't be with her. That makes sense. Okay? Rav Nach Yitzchak Olam HaSeifa. It's going to concluding case. What's the Seifa? that his wife and his brother went overseas. They came and said they died. And then he married the widow of his so-called brother-in-law, which was the sister of his wife. Right? That's the recent Mishnah, okay? Lola Masefa. And in parentheses, Don Nosiv, the Nosiv Eishis Giso. Okay? So let's give the, what's the base? What's base? Nosiv Eishis Giso, V'hod Nosiv Arusas Giso. There's a difference if he married Eishis Giso, if she was in the Suah, or it was only Kedushin. Remember we discussed? Okay? 1 second. Hod Asli Arusas Giso, Hod Asli Ishto V'Giso. Ukamatana Kama. Lo Shno Eishis Giso, Ishto V'Giso, Lo Shno Arusaso V'Giso. This makes no difference if it was Ishto V'Giso, Lo Shno Arusaso V'Giso. Whether the woman who went overseas with the brother was fully his wife or only Kedushin. Right? Eishis Giso Asiro Vishto Shario. Right? Why not? He went and had relations with his sister-in-law. Whether his wife who went overseas originally was fully married to him or only Kedushin. His wife, when they come back, is permitted to him, and the sister-in-law is not permitted to him. It's for two reasons. First, it's Achos Ishto. It's the sister of his wife. Secondly, he committed adultery with her. Because she's not going to be permitted to her husband. Correct? Okay? Ukamale Rabbi Yossi, Ishto V'Giso. Remember we differentiated before. We said if a person marries a woman conditionally, and then he consummates the marriage, we say the consummation of marriage nullifies the condition. Correct? Nullifies. So nobody's going to ever say that he wasn't married to the first one. Nobody's ever going to say that. Okay? The lekamema to no havik. Ukam Rabbi Yossi, Ishto V'Giso lekamema to no havik. Havale bin Nesuin. Nobody will ever say that there was a Tanai by Nesuin. Deino posel al yidei acher. Deino posel al yidei atzbo. Because what are people going to say? People are going to say that he was really married to the second one, not to the first one. Right? Wasn't, right? However, Rososo V'Giso Diklamem to no Havale B'Kedushin. And therefore, there was therefore when he married the sister, right? Uposal Yidei Acherim. 1 second. So therefore they said, so who did he marry? He married the second one. So if he married the second one, therefore we don't allow him to go back to the first one. Uposal Yidei Atzmo. Therefore we don't allow him to go back to the first one. Let's say factually people think, let's say there was only Ersin to the first one. He made only Kedushin. She went overseas. Then he had relations with, he marries the second one. So what are people going to say? He was married to the second one. So now the wife comes back. You know what people will say? That what? No, it's Achos Ishto. The second one was his wife, and the Arusa was only conditional, and therefore the marriage was the marriage. That's how he married the second one. What do people know? People know he ended up marrying the sister, full marriage, the sister of his one that he made Kedushin with. Now he leaves the second one. People don't know why. Because obviously she has a husband. Now she wants to marry the first one. People say, what's going on over here? If he was the one his real wife is still alive. How does he marry the sister now? The sister's still alive. Therefore, we don't allow him to go back to the first. Yeah. If he's fully married to the first one, we allow him to go back. Why do you allow him to go back? Because people will say, there's no way he could have been married to the second one because he was fully married to the first one. But if he was only Mekudesh, he only did Kedushin to the first one. So when he married the second one, what did the people say? The first one was nothing because it was conditional, and that's how he was married to the second one. Now he separates from the second one, and he goes back. People say, how does he go back to the first one? He's marrying Achos Ishto. Therefore, that's the case. We don't let him go back to the first. Right? That's Rabbi Yossi. Omer Rabbi Yudah Mishmuel Halochik Rabbi Yossi. We rule like Rabbi Yossi that by Arusa we don't allow him to go back, and by Nesua we do allow him to go back. You following? Arusa, No, Arus says, no, it's only Kedushin. By Kedushin, we don't allow him to go back. We don't allow him to go back. But the way it's perceived, based on perception, it's a problem. Right, as we explained. Maskula Rav Yosef. So Shmuel said we rule like Rav Yosef. Maskula Rav Yosef, Biyom Shmuel Hochi, V'Oitmar, Yevomo. Rav Omar Havale Keshes Ish. Shmuel Omar Enu Keshes Ish. Rav says Yevom is like an Eshes Ish. Shmuel says it's not like an Eshes Ish. What's the case? We'll see what it means. One second. Rega. Rav Omer Harikesh Shmuel Omer Rav Huna. What does it mean? What is the case? What is the case of Yevom is like an Eshes Ish? It's only a lav go Chikidesh Ochav Seisha. Here, his brother married a woman, Kedushin, just Kedushin. And then he went overseas. Then he heard his brother died. Then he did Yibum. He married the sister-in-law where the brother was only the Kedushin. So what are people going to say? How did he marry her? It's Eishesach. Well, they'll say, well, the marriage was conditional. We'll see in a moment. So therefore, he was what? He married. That's so he had a right to marry her. Means she was never married to the first brother. We'll see. Rav says she's like an Eshish and she's not permitted to the Yavam. Shmuel ain't a Keshish of Shayulei. There you go. Very Keshish is. Vam Rafuna Mayeshish is to come out Rav Coach Kiddush Ochav Isho Shomoli Noso Tarvaya Modi Dumteres Lasalo. If he wouldn't have done the suin, if Shimon wouldn't have had relations with his sister-in-law, let's say he could definitely go back. Let's say he did Kedushin, right? But he had relations with her. So if he had relations with her, right, that means what was she? She was a married woman. Okay, 1 second. Legme mamaz grushosahu, takol yodim, shetos hoiso shim girsha lohoisa nesua nisis loachiv. Right? If he would have the first would have married her, there's no way we would prohibit her from going back, because everybody knows if he would have divorced her, no, she couldn't have gotten married to his brother, right? Avol Kiddush. But what about if the brother did Kedushin? What are people going to say? That he was married, right? Avol Kiddush Bahi, Omer Rav Harikesh Ish, Hanisis Beirechot Shasur Labalo. 1 second. Zuname Asur Larishon, Shu Achshav Yevomo. Damriishi Arishon to know Havalei Bekdushin, Velons Kaim, Uteres Hoysel Sheni, Yotza Misheni, Venosa Rishon, Nimtza Nose Eseshes Ochiv. Yeah. So that's according to Rav. Go Shikidi Shochve, so Yishav Holach, Lo, Midiasem, Shom Ochiv, Omer Venosa Esishto. The Rav Amari Keshes Ish, Basur Liyovam. She's not permitted to the Yavam. Why? Why? Because they're going to say that his wife committed adultery. His wife committed adultery because since he did full marriage and other brother, what are people going to say? Who was he married to? He was married to the second one. Right? Shmuel Amar, Eno Keshes Ish, Shayulei. Okay? So how could you say, if we rule like Rav, right? So we see what? Shmuel says we rule like Rabbi Yossi, that we differentiate between Kedushin and Nesuin, right? And Shmuel said that. And here Shmuel says, Keshes is V'shayolei. He says, no. Even Kedushin, he's still permitted to do Yibum. I mean, people are not going to see it that way. That means we're not going like Rabbi Yossi. Right? Again. No. Rabbi Yossi says people will see, if there's only Kedushin, they're going to see he was married to the second one. Shmuel says over here we see it like a Neshes Ish, and therefore we permit him to do Yibum. We permit him to do Yibum. Because they're going to say the marriage to, what's his name, was not a marriage. Omale Abayu, my Dichim, Shmuel, Reb Yossi, Adreb Yitzchak, Nafka Komer, Dilma Adrebami Komer. Vin Nami Adreb Yitzchak, Nafka, Mimai da Posel, Dilma ain't a Posel. Okay, this is a little complicated because he said two sides to it. You know, my Yisrael Rapuna, Dilma, less Rapuna Klau, Ramnuna Kamiflagi, the Ramnun Shemesh Yom Shizinsa Asur Livoma, the Rava Mahareke Shesish, Mifsel Biznus, Shmulam Ainake Shesish. Has nothing to do with the Lamisa Biznus. Inam Bikdushin Tovsin, Bivoma Kamiflagi. There's another Machlokas. The Rava Mahareke Shesish, below Tafsi Bo Kedushin, Shmulam Ainake Shesish, with the possible Kedushin, the Tafsi Bo Kedushin. Meaning like this. There's so many variables how you can understand Rav and Shmuel. Rav and Shmuel have nothing to do with what he said before. We rule like Rabbi Yossi. We rule like Rabbi Yossi. Okay? That's what he said. But what the argument they said, one says, do we see Yavam like an Eshish? We're not talking about in this context. We're talking about a Yavama who went committed adultery, had relations with a third party before Yibum. Do we see as an adulteress or not? One says yes, one says no. One says, like Rav Nuna, that a Yavama has an illicit relation before Yibum, you see it like she committed adultery. That's unrelated to what we're discussing here. No one went overseas, nothing. Another discussion. A Yavama went and somebody else married her. Is the Kedushin Tofis? Because we had earlier, is the Kedushin effective? Although it's a Chavi Lavim, where the Machloks before Rav and Shmuel, whether it takes effect or not. Even though it's a lav, it's exersa kosim, it says losia. Losia means you cannot have marriage, even though it's under chayvi lavim. That's the argument. Do we see it like an eshesish that you can't marry an eshesish, you can't marry a Yavama? Or do we say, no, you can marry her? It's unrelated to our story over here that we're penalizing, it has nothing to do with what we're discussing over here. The Machlok Shem Shmuel is independent, another discussion unrelated to what we're discussing here. Therefore, there's no contradiction. Shmuel says we were like Rav Yossi in the case where the brother-in-law and the sister-in-law go overseas and you believe in all that. Here we're talking about something totally different. A Yavama goes and is married by a third party. Is she permitted to the Yavam? For multiple reasons she can be, for multiple reasons she's not. Either because she's married to the third party, or because she's an adulteress. They're unrelated. Has nothing to do with the Yavam himself marrying the sister or anything else. Nothing. No, he has to divorce. It's a chayv lavim. Well, he could stay if he gives chalitza. If you hold the kedushin is tofes, so if the yavim gives chalitza, then she can stay married to the man. Without chalitza, she can't stay married. We don't rule like Rabbi Akiva. No, but the Gemara says even if you don't hold like Rabbi Akiva, because it says lo siya, by the other says lo yavam mamzev kal Hashem. Here it says lo silish. So when Torah lo silish means ein bo havayo. There's no concept, although it's only a chayvi lav. This is the exception to the rule, right? That's the argument. So that's the argument. Rav and Shmuel. Do we see a yavama l'shuk? Do we see like an eshes ish? Not regarding adultery. That you just as you can't marry a married woman, you can't marry this woman. Or no, she's not like an eshes ish. That's the machlokes of Rav and Shmuel in this what we're discussing here. Do we see it like a married? Although it's only a chayvi lavim. Okay, further. Abrilo mesa ishtacho. Right? They came and they said, your wife died. Okay? Now, you could have a case, two sisters, they're related, they share a common father. They're paternally related, not stepsister. Or they share a common mother. They're from different fathers, but the same mother. So listen to the story. It was a sister they were related to with the same father. They had different mothers, but the same father. Mesa. Mesa, she died. Now she died. The second one, his wife died. V'nosa achosa mi'imo. And he married a sister that was related to his wife. They were maternally related. Meaning second and third wife, they share a common mother. Okay? Oh, so it's permitted. It's permitted. Mesa. Now, the third wife died. This guy buries his wives. Mesa, the third wife dies. And they married. No. Now, the third wife is related to his fourth wife. They share a common father. Unrelated to the first wife. Right? 3 and 4, they're paternally related. They share a common father. He could marry her because his wife died. Either way, each subsequent previous wife dies, but we're just talking about the relationships. It's not further away. No. Because again, the number 3 and 4 may not be related to 2 and 3, right? But in terms of 3 and 4, they share a common father, right? So it would be incest if his wife wouldn't die. They hadn't died, okay? Now, all of a sudden, there's going to be a rude awakening thing. Turned out none of them died. So if none of them died, but again, he'll be married to more than one, correct? The first one he's married to. The second one he's not married to. The third one he is married to. Right? Every other one, because that the first and the third are not related, and the third and the second and the fourth are not related. As he says, Mutter b'rishona, ub'shlishis, ub'chamishis. He's permitted the first wife, the third wife, and the fifth wife, because they don't share a common parent. Good. Upochis sorasein. Therefore, they will let's say they were co-wives, the man died, and let's say he had a brother married to a sister of either of these people, and he's not permitted to the second wife or the fourth wife. Let's say now he dies, and one of the brothers go and have relations with the second or the third or the fourth. It doesn't absolve his wives, because those wives were never his wives. Because it's not because you're doing yibum or chalitza with his wives; they were never his wives. Because it was revealed that that his wives were alive; they're his sister's wives. Never took place. Good. Oh, what happens now? We said he's married to 1, 3, and 5. No, let's say he would die. So we say, if his brothers do yibum to 1, 3, or 5, the co-wives go free. Right? Because they did yibum. They're all co-wives. But if they did yibum to 1 or to 2 or 4, it's nothing. Good. What happens now? Number 1 dies. And the husband goes, has a relation, marries 2. Although the first time he married 2 was nothing. But now his wife, he knows, dies. Right? She's in an old age home, got word, she died, he visited, he was at the funeral. This one, he's definitely dead. And he goes and he remarries, now he remarries. So now is the first time he's marrying. 2. So it's his wife. Now it's fine. No, because it's not like an adulteress. You committed adultery. That we said earlier, you go back, he can marry her now. Okay? No, we're talking about he knows factually. We'd have to get it complicated. Does make a difference. Doesn't make a difference. Factually, his wife's alive. They came back. Right? Okay? Yes. Only paternal. No, paternal. Only paternal. They only have to be related through the father. They don't have to be full brothers to mother and father. Just father sufficient. Nothing. No yibum. No, not chiyuv. It's incest. Right, okay? No. Okay? Now, the first one dies. Now he marries the second one. He's permitted to the second one. Right? Because the first wife died now. Ubervius. The same thing if he marries the fourth one. Right? Muta bishni ubervius. Upotros saraseim. Now if he dies and now the brother gives yibum to them, the co-wives are free to go. Because today, these women who originally were married to him are married to him. V'osa b'shlishis v'chamishis. Yeah, v'im bi'achs men poteres tzoroson. Ben teshu shon of yom echad, hu posel ha'yedei achim. V'achim posel ha'yodo. Okay? We said until a child's 9-year-old, his act of cohabitation is not recognized as an act. So if he's 9 years old, he's into his 10th year. Even who posel al yedei achim. One day means even he's a full 9 years old. That's what it means. See, if he does an act of cohabitation, it's cohabitation. Okay, posel al yedei achim. Rega. Va'achin posel al yodo. They can't do, even if they do anything, he can't be involved. Va'achin posel al yodo, elhu posel tchilo. Va'achin posel tchilo, the sof. Ketzad ben teshav yom echad sheba al yivimto. Posel al yedei achim. Right? Posel, he affected them negatively, her, that she's off limits to the brothers. Bo aleo achin, vosa b'maimo. 1 second. No. Bo aleo achin, vosa b'maimer, noslo gero cholzu, posno yodo. What is if it was bo aleo? It means either. No. Either they had relations with her. Well, then she's a yavama. No. Then it's his wife. What's bo aleo? No, what's bo'u or leho? Achin. Oh, they came upon her and they only did maimer. Maimer. Bo doesn't mean they had relations. Bo leho la'achin vosuba maimer. And then they gave a get or cholzu, posna yodo. So they terminated it. Right? They cut off the yavama from him. Right. See, but that's the difference. There's no sof. They could give a get. They're adults. He's a child. Let's say he does bia. Right? So he can't separate himself. She cannot marry someone else now until he becomes adult and he gives a get. If the gay did mimer, they give her a get or chalitza and it's over. And can't do get, he can't do either. No, they have to give chalitza. They have to give chalitza. So they could do the end, they could do the beginning and they could do the end. He, the child, if he's 9 years old, he could only start the problem, but he can't end the problem. No, it's not enough. We hold la locha. No, we hold, even if you hold like, who was it? Beis Shammai. Yeah, Beis Shammai, that maimer's kona minatori, you still need chalitza. Still, there's exeris of course if you need chalitza. Right.